Today, I want to talk about how illness can deteriorate someone's life. So, recently I contracted carpal tunnel syndrome because I had several consecutive piano practices that were over 3 hours long, and I was starting to feel tingliness in my hands and in my wrists, and they were starting to get painful when I was doing certain things, and I didn't think it was such a big deal, and then I helped a couple family friends with certain construction projects, and then it got way worse. It got to the point where when I did simple things, I would get sharp pain in my hands, and I went to the doctor and was diagnosed with bilateral carpal tunnel syndrome. So I took a couple notes to try to be a little bit more organized. So one aspect of illness is the vagueness of success and treatment. So I've largely been spending the last week or two just at home, not really doing much. I try to avoid things that are hand intensive. I try to keep my hands at neutral positions in general. So that might be watching videos or reading or going on a walk, things like that. And as hard as you can try to not do anything with your hands, unless you have someone to do things for you, it's impossible to not do things with your hands. So you have to turn doorknobs, which are, when you have a condition like this, it's surprising how involved they are. But, doorknobs aren't necessarily the worst, but maybe turning a faucet, especially if you have to turn it really hard to get it to shut off completely. So even when you try to do nothing, it's very difficult or impossible to do nothing if you want to, do even the most basic things to keep yourself well. Or like if you want a meal, you have to. You don't necessarily have to cook, but even grabbing all the things, it's just very difficult to live without using your hand. And despite all of these things, coming back to the vagueness aspect, it's been 1 or 2 weeks, I can't remember exactly how long, but I still have the symptoms. Like, has it done anything that I've been taking medication? I've been taking ibuprofen, and there was another medication which was like a gel or something that I was supposed to put on my arms, but I haven't gotten it yet because I'm kind of disorganized and thoughtless about some things. But has it done anything? It's hard to tell. Also, one of the difficulties in treating it is not just the straightforward things that I have to do for myself. Like if I want to go to the bathroom, I have to use my hands to unzip my fly and turn on the faucet and turn it off and all those sorts of things. But also there's the social aspect that being helpless in this sort of way contradicts the social contract with the people that you have around you, where you're expected to do certain things, and if you ask other people to give you certain leniencies or to do other things for you, there's kind of a social pressure against that. Whether they are expecting you, or it's just your assumption that they are. I think it's probably both. That despite the understanding of other people, there's still an instinct to have certain expectations of certain kinds of behavior. Like it would be ludicrous if I asked my mom to stay, or my dad to stay home from work to tend for me. And if we're sitting at the dinner table and I want to get a pitcher of water from inside, it would just come off as kind of perverse asking someone else to to get a pitcher of water for me, because I just have this just a social instinct that when there's something that I could do, it's unreasonable and unfair to ask someone else to do it, and except in cases of extreme cost. And then the other aspect is how it deteriorates the rest of your life. So, as I'm sure you can see behind me, my room is kind of a shithole. And there are a lot of things that are, like I was saying, a lot of things that I have to do to satisfy certain basic needs of living. Like, I have to go to the bathroom and open the door of my room, then open the door of the bathroom, then unzip my fly, etc., and turn the faucet on and off. And these things, just at default, seem extremely minimal, but they actually are significant for, I mean, I probably don't have the worst case of carpal tunnel syndrome, because I can do relatively basic things, and it's not, it's like I can feel the sensations that I should stop doing that, but it's not extremely painful. But I can only imagine what it's like for someone with an extreme version of the illness. But because I try to avoid doing certain things, the things that are slightly less urgent to do, I've been avoiding. So I haven't really been cleaning my room very much. I haven't been showering as much. I mean, one of the things for mental health is like the fact that I stay home so much of the time. And if I could work on projects, it would be fine. But since I'm avoiding projects, like I'm avoiding video projects, obviously, because I can't use the right. I'm trying to avoid using the keyboard and the mouse, because I mean, not just super repetitive motion, but even using it for a few minutes, even after the first 10 seconds, I can start feeling it. But just not really having much to do, only being able to read, can be kind of tedious. And I think maybe at some point, if I got into a real reading mindset, I could do it for longer periods of time. But it deteriorates the variety in activities that you can do, and it just feels so homogenous. And obviously when you don't clean your room and you don't have a clean environment, it affects your mental health. And when you don't shower enough, or like I haven't been flossing very much, because maybe I have to find a better way to floss, but I just use strands of floss, and it kind of takes a certain amount of maneuverability with my hands to use it. So I've been flossing sometimes, but still, it's not. I can tell it's not very good for my carpal tunnel. So there are just many aspects of life that are difficult to succeed in when you have a sort of illness, and it can be kind of a snowballing effect. And I don't know, maybe I should walk more or something, but yeah, just a variety of problems that make it difficult to deal with, and I feel kind of foggy about it because of the snowballing of like lifestyle aspects. But I think that's a general overview of what I wanted to say.